Ethan had been working as a night security guard at Crestwood Psychiatric Hospital for 6 months. It was an easy job, long shifts, sure, but most of the patients were sedated or asleep by the time he started. All he had to do was patrol the halls, make sure no one was wandering where they shouldn't be, and keep an eye on the security cameras. But there was one wing Ward C that always made him uneasy. It had been closed for years, ever since a fire wiped out the patients in that section. Rumors circulated among the staff, whispers of what had really gone on in that ward, tales of unethical experiments and patient deaths that had been covered up. The hospital insisted it was just an accident, but something about Ward C felt wrong. Even now, the door was bolted shut, and no one talked about it. One night, while making his rounds, Ethan noticed something strange on the security monitors. The camera for Ward C, which usually displayed static, flickered to life. For a brief moment, he saw movement, just a shadow passing across the screen. Then, it was gone. His pulse quickened. It must be a glitch. He muttered to himself, but something gnawed at him. What if it wasn't? Against his better judgment, Ethan grabbed his flashlight and made his way toward C. The air grew colder as he approached the locked door. His breath misted in the dimly lit corridor. The door loomed in front of him, rusted and scarred from years of neglect. He shouldn't have done it, but he did. He pulled out his keys, his hand trembling as he slid one into the lock. With a loud click, the door creaked open. The air inside was thick with the scent of mildew and something else, something rotten. He shone his flashlight down the hall, revealing peeling walls, crumbling tiles, and footprints. Fresh, wet footprints leading deeper into the ward. Ethan swallowed hard and followed them, each step echoing in the oppressive silence. His mind raced with thoughts of vagrants, or maybe a patient who had somehow gotten inside. But as he reached the end of the corridor, he saw something that made his blood run cold. A figure stood at the far end, facing the wall. It was a woman, her hair long and matted, her hospital gown hanging loosely on her frail body. She didn't move, didn't react to the beam of his flashlight. "Miss," Ethan's voice was barely a whisper. The woman twitched. He took a step closer, his gut telling him to run, but his legs carrying him forward. As he approached, the figure turned slowly, her head lolling at an unnatural angle. Her eyes were wide, hollow, black as voids. Her mouth stretched into a grotesque grin, blood dripping from her cracked lips. "They never left," she croaked, her voice raspy and broken. Ethan stumbled backward, the beam of his flashlight shaking wildly. The woman stepped toward him, her movements jerky, as if her body was being controlled by invisible strings. "They never left, and neither will you." A door behind her burst open, and dozens of figures emerged, patients long dead, their bodies charred and twisted, their eyes glowing with malice. Ethan turned and ran, his heart slamming against his ribs. He could hear them whispers and dragging footsteps chasing him through the darkened halls. His legs burned as he sprinted back toward the entrance, slamming the door toward C behind him. Breathless, he collapsed against the wall, his heart hammering in his chest. The door remained shut, but the whispers didn't stop. They echoed through the empty corridors, growing louder, more insistent. He glanced at the security monitors. The camera for Ward C was back to static, but now, in the corner of every screen, he saw it, those same hollow eyes watching him, waiting.